Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, this is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions versus their rookie quarterback and the Washington Redskins.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Washington Redskins. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from Ford Field. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And we see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. But I've loved watching him evolve as a quarterback. He gets better and better each year.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Open man is Allison, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out, because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Stafford now to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Stafford. A slant to Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
He'll find Jones again, complete. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Stafford on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Sims to return. And able to get this out to the 25. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. Fighting him off. And he's taken down inside the 30. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Set, lady.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Redskin first down, the pickup 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Pass incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On the ground, Geis, and he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away, and the Redskins have taken the lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. From the gun, Stafford complete to Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Stafford got a man. It's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he's got this down to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. And what I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Strong coverage by Washington. And now 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On first down, it's Peterson. And somehow he circumvents that first man and makes something out of nothing there for a gain of a couple. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run on first down. Peterson, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Peterson. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 27 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again. Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Redskin 1st down. The pickup 15 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick, 53 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to him and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 29, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Lions on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 23 yards the pickup there.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw here. Got a man, that's Quinn. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a man open down the middle of the field and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down and 7. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. To return, here's Agnew. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Keep giving it to him. Come on, keep giving it to him. Let's go.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Dad, you waiting?
On first down, it's Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Here's Sims to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Here's McKissick. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Already too often in this game, we've seen him break runs to the second and the third level. And I think this defense has been way too focused on their passing game. At some point, they've got to understand that the running game is hurting them as well. That last run, that bit them again.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 39.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. They run again with Peterson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Well, Brandon, I don't think they're making any secret of what they want to do right now. They want to control the clock, keep the ball away from the other team. You just wonder, did they start to shut it down a little bit too early? I think what they're counting on, though, if they continue to move the ball and get significant gains, their energy will stay high, and they won't go into hiding too quickly.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And the Redskins scoop it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Another shot now for this Lions offense.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though,
Yeah.
because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Set. Yellow 80. Yellow 80.
They run. This is Scarborough. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now it's Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Johnson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Ready. Yellow 80. Right there, 56. Oh, get him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Sims to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Sims to return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Get ready! Get ready!
So out now come the Redskins. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They start the drive with Peterson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Second and 9 now. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A throw over the middle taken in, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. And Anderson's got it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there and a first down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A carry now for McKissick. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
He'll drop to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Back to the ground, Peterson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught by Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Stafford. Open here is Allison. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
9 yards that time.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing again is Stafford. And it's caught here. Amendola. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 23. 16 yards, a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Waiting. 58 right there. Oh, you got deep? 58, come on. 58.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On first down, Stafford here. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the 3, second and a yard.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Stafford looks to throw again. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Man, they ain't got a chance.
Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline, there's a head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
The Lions on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They snap it to Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Panther 60. Panther 60. Here we go, D. Here I go.
And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Let's go. 70 Lions. 3 down.
On the ground, it's Geis. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now back to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They run. Peterson. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that will be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 3rd down, Stafford and Amendola with a catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Three yards remain for second down.
56. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. 56 the money.
Here's Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To the air again, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 28. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford. He completes it to Jones. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gott, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.